Alright guys, welcome back to more Ignorance in Basketball. Now, excuse the rain. Right before I started recording, it just started raining hard as a bitch. But I can't control the elements just yet. So, it is what it is. So if you hear a bunch of thunder, just know that that shit is real. I am not putting effects in. I'm not there yet. But, let's talk about this game. Beautiful win. Actually, let me take that back. It was a needed win, a much needed win. I think if this fucking team had lost back-to-back to the worst team in the NBA, I wouldn't be making this video today, I'm going to be honest. You guys know I'm an emotional fan. I'm an emotional fan. And yesterday, I was emotionally distraught, some might say. It took a lot out of me, that loss. And I couldn't do it twice. So, you hear that shit? Sheesh. Thank God I'm indoors, right? But solid win. Honestly, for a lot of this game, I had my fucking arms crossed. I was disappointed. I looked like a disgruntled parent for a lot of this game. I just had my arms crossed. I was looking at the fucking screen sideways, just shaking my head. I was mad because it's like you got fucking smacked in the mouth yesterday by the worst team in the league because your effort wasn't there. And again, you have fucking 18 turnovers. Why? Why do you have 18 turnovers against the worst team in the NBA? Please explain. We all know they don't play any fucking defense. They're not good. So why do you have a bunch of turnovers? God damn, it's fucking loud outside. But let's get into the positives because there weren't really too many negatives. Honestly, the Timberwolves played pretty well, even though they're horrible. I think they're a little bit better than their record. You know, Towns missed a lot of games. Obviously, like, D'Angelo's still out, but they've had a lot of weird injuries, a lot of COVID shit they had to deal with, so maybe they're just starting to play better, and the rookie's starting to play better. I don't call him by his name out of disrespect, because it's fuck you energy at all times. But let's get into the positives, like I said. Let's pull up some fucking stats. Actually, before we get into the positives, let me just get one more negative out the way. Ayton was terrible this game. I think, can we agree on that? He was horrible. He played 18 minutes and had fucking, what did he have, like 8 points? 8 points and 6 boards, 0 assists. And his defense on Cat was just bad today. A lot of unnecessary fouls. He just let him get from the three-point line to the fucking lane for a dunk. I'm like, what the fuck? He was lighting his ass up from three, which is kind of understandable. I know big men aren't really used to guarding on the perimeter like that, even though I think Ayton is one of the better perimeter defending big men in the NBA. And it's kind of weird because Cat doesn't jump when he shoots. His shot is so weird. So I guess it's kind of hard to guard, but also do better. Also do better because they're the Timberwolves and they're 10-32. That's fucking god-awful. So I expect more from him. I think that's why he frustrates so many people because every time he steps on the fucking court, he's able to dominate the game, but he rarely does. A lot of the times he just seems disinterested and it pisses me off. So yeah. And Booker didn't have a great game either. He didn't shoot that well from the field. But the thing that I like about him, is that even though he wasn't shooting well, late in the game, he was getting really crucial rebounds. Like he got that rebound over Cat and got the foul. He got a couple over Bielitsa, and he's only 6'5". So even though he's not doing his main thing, which is scoring, or not even really running the offense well, he was still able to affect the game in a positive way. And I think that's what Ayton really needs to learn how to do. I know it's only like his second year in the league, but it's ring season, so you got to fucking catch up. Sorry. Now, Bridges had a great game, 17 points, 3 assists, 6 boards. He played really good defense on the rookie, who, again, I'm not calling him by his name out of disrespect because it's always fuck you energy to the other teams. I'm not rooting for your team. And again, other fans in the comments talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. My team is good. Shut the fuck up. Please shut the fuck up. Your team is not good. And it will never be good. And I hope they lose every game. Sorry. Let's keep going. Chris Paul gave you 20 and 9. Solid fucking game today. He played well. He was aggressive late. I don't think he really even started taking any shots until like the third quarter. So shout out to him for that. I think he had, I want to say like 17, maybe even 18 of his points in the second half. So he played really well. Crowder gave you 10 points. Saric didn't have a great game, but at least his defense on Cat was better than fucking Ayton's is. And it's like, if you're Ayton, what reason would Saric have to be a better defender than you? You're more gifted than Saric physically in every single way. So why is he a better defender than you most of the time? That's a problem. That's why he's getting more minutes. He played 24 minutes. Ayton only played 18. That's not good. Nader gave you 10 points in 16 minutes and 3 boards and a block. But Langston Galloway gets the fucking game ball, people. I think we can agree on that. Beautiful fucking game from him. It's crazy that this man was sitting on the bench for like 10 games in a row. I never understood it because he's not a bad defender. If you're streaky and you're a shitty defender like a Jamal Crawford, I get it. Because it's ring season and you can't be fucking... This team leads with defense, so if you're lacking in that, sit your ass down like Ayton has been. But Galloway's he's like a average defender, and this guy can go off for fucking 17 and a quarter like he did against Detroit. So it's good to see him back. He had 14 points in 16 minutes and 2 boards and 3 assists. And every time he came into and I feel like he did not miss all damn game. He probably missed like 3 times, but he was really efficient. Cameron Johnson, 11 points. So everybody played fucking well today, again, except for Ayton. And this was a great win. Now, I was talking to a fellow Colt member, Fabian, in the comments, and he's like, we got to get that 20-point win. Now, we did. I don't like to say we. The Suns did win by 12 today. But the starters came out of the game when they were up by 20, so I'm going to take this as a 20-point win. So I think we got what we wanted. They came back. Now, they didn't play amazing the whole game, but they didn't have to. They executed in the fourth, which I always say is a very crucial thing to me. Late game execution is huge because that's when there's the most pressure, and that's the closest thing you can get to a playoff game in a regular season game, I think. Unless it's like, you're playing against like the fucking Lakers or, whoever the defending champ is at the time or another contender. I guess that's another close way. But late game execution I always look at, and this team executed really well late, so shout out to them for that. Now, let's talk about this Craig shit. Torrey Craig, the signing. I keep wanting to say trade. He did get traded, but the Suns didn't trade for him. Cash consideration. Still don't know what the fuck that means. So I was going on Bleacher Report the other day, and they had a theory that... Because, again, it's like, why would you sign another forward when this team has so many forwards? If they have a plethora of anything, and that is a GED word, you can use that on your test. If they have a plethora of anything, it's forwards. They got Crowder, Cameron Johnson, Bridges, and Nader are all like basically threes. So it's like, why the fuck would you want another one? So their theory was, or at least one of them, is that they're going to make a big trade, like at least a decent trade where they're going to send a couple players away. And I was like, that would make sense. Like maybe they're going to send Cam Johnson away or package a couple players because like I'm saying, guys, this fucking year is the year for like a weird team to win. A lot of teams are hurt. I don't believe in the fucking Clippers at all. Speaking of late game execution, they're one of the worst. I don't think the Lakers are as good as last year. And honestly, I don't think the Lakers were that good of a team. Maybe I'm just jaded because I've had to fucking watch KD on the Warriors for the past fucking 10 years, it feels like. But, like, that Lakers team was nowhere near that Warriors team at its peak and its prime, I don't think. And I think this team is weaker than they were last year because they lost that perimeter defense. Or not perimeter defense, but the internal defense from Dwight and McGee. Like, who's a shot blocker on this team besides AD? Who's a 4? Who, fucking Marc Gasol at 55 years old? Hell no. So I think that hurts their perimeter defense as well. And then, like I said, KCP's not playing as well. They lost Rondo. Playoff Rondo is like one of the best. Playoff Rondo is a top 7 point guard in the NBA. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This guy can hoop. So they lost that. It's not like LeBron and AD aren't doing it by themselves. It's a fucking team game. But, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know who they're going to go for. I've seen some people, not in here, obviously, not in this cult because we're too smart for that, but I've seen people on like Bleacher Report and shit suggest trying to go after Aaron Gordon because it seems like the Magic are just selling all their vets. But I actually watched that Magic and Nets game, And the Nets did lose, so shout out to the Magic for that, because that was a little bit of a gift. I appreciate it. But I saw Aaron Gordon running the point guard position, and he had James Harden and Kyrie Irving guarding it. Now, this is a close game against one of the top fucking teams in your conference, right? You're like 6'9", maybe even 6'10". I mean, he's a 4. He's big as all hell. Athletic as fuck. We saw him in the dunk contest. And you have a 6-foot point guard guarding you, and you're shooting step-back threes in the fourth quarter. What the fuck are you doing? And they didn't, it's not like they had a big team and they had just switched. Like, no, they were guarding them the whole time. Guards. And he's on the perimeter shooting step-back threes. I don't give a fuck if the coach told you to do that shit or not. Anybody with that ridiculous-ass mentality, I don't want on the Suns. That shit is crazy. I don't give a fuck if you made every single one of them. You need to get in the fucking paint and dunk on them. Post them up, have somebody give you the ball, turn around, and lay it up. Or dunk if you want to be extra funny. I don't give a shit. But if you're shooting step-back threes, nah. I think if Shaq had watched that game, he would have literally died. He would have just died right then and there on the spot. Because you know he's Mr. Give the big man the ball, let him dominate inside. You know that's his whole fucking mentality. That's what he talks about every single time he's on TV. So if he saw an actual big man who's athletic as fuck in a crucial game, or at least a crucial moment of a game, have literally the smallest fucking person on both teams guarding him, and he's shooting step-back threes, he would have died. Please, nobody tell Shaq about this game. I don't even want him watching highlights. He might die still. We have to hashtag save Shaq. We have to save Shaq by him not knowing that information, because that shit disgusted me. But if he didn't play like that, that would be great, because the Suns do need a 4. I think they need help with rebounding. They need help with shot blocking, just interior defense in general, because a lot of the times Aiden is nowhere to be found. Let's just be real about it. Embiid lit his ass up. Cat lit his ass up. If you have a good big man, that is the Suns' biggest weakness for sure. So if we could have somebody to handle that shit, or at least help handle that shit, I think that would help this team a lot. And I'm willing to send a couple fucking forwards and some draft picks to make that shit happen. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Now you know I'm an emotional fan, and I don't like sending players away. So it depends on who we get. But let me know. I know that was extremely long-winded, but I'm tired. So let me know what you guys think about that theory. I don't know. I think that kind of makes sense. Because, again, why do you need literally 5 threes on one team? Unless you're just trying to be like the Warriors and have like positionless basketball. But none of those guys can really make shots for themselves. Like the Warriors, you had like Clay, who's like 6'7", and you had a bunch like Iguodala, who's like a point guard. Like that makes sense because those guys can find their own shot. They're not just specifically like 3-and-D guys. If you just have 3-and-D guys, you know, you can't use them all at the same time because they can't create a shot for themselves. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Solid win today. Much needed win. We got the Lakers on Sunday. I'm excited. I'm very excited. Definitely will be making a video about that. And hopefully we get a fucking win. Hopefully we're going to see how it goes. But I think that's all I got. I think that is enough ranting for one day. And I'll see you guys on Sunday. Peace.